Microsoft is opening below R3, and I was thinking it could continue selling off before it hits an area of support. And I've got a higher time frame level down here, the possible area of support. Similar thing with Apple. So Apple was opening, it was hung out around R3, which is a selling area in the pre-market, and then it continued down. So I was thinking if the big market movers continue. What's up, traders? Megan here with BBT. Hopefully you guys had a good long weekend. I took an extra day off, so instead of a 3-day weekend, I had a 4-day weekend, and it was fabulous. I'm feeling rested, so it's always a little bit weird to jump in after a little bit of a break, but I had a good morning, and I want to talk you through some of my trades. So, I didn't trade the fun, crazy stuff like IC this morning, which is what Brian and Thor were looking at this morning, and some other fun movers, but I traded, kind of the more of the market mover type stocks this morning. So what I was looking at the open, and I thought the market might be more of a short at the open before we found some support. And the reason why is because some of the bigger players in the overall market were sitting because of where they were sitting. Oops. So Microsoft is opening below R3, and I was thinking it could continue selling off before it hits an area of support. And I've got a higher time frame level down here, the possible area of support. Similar thing with Apple. So Apple was opening, it was hung out around R3, which is a selling area in the pre-market, and then it continued down. So I was thinking if the big market movers continue to hit resistance, they might continue downwards until we find some support in the overall market. So my thesis was short at the open until we found support, and then a possible bounce play later in the morning, which ended up working out. It doesn't always work that way. It's not always exactly as you think it's going to be, but this morning it was that, so I have no complaints. Okay, so since I was thinking short at the open, I wanted to find something that I was a little bit more short biased on. So Nvidia, if you take a look at this chart here on the weekly, we've got this nice little range down here. So I've actually got the level like right here and like right here maybe. So this area where it got trapped in the past. And so I'm looking at this overall area, and we lost it last week with some news, a news catalyst. And this morning we were hanging out right around that level. I have it marked at 137.31. So hanging out right around there in the pre-market. And it looked like it might move quickly if the market was to open weak. So I actually got in just a little bit before the open, just a couple minutes before the open in the pre-market. And then we did get this really nice sell-off into the open. I held for a while. I actually held through all of this right here because I was expecting another leg down. There was a really big order down at 135, and I wanted to see how it interacted when it got to it, and it just flushed right through it. But I took a partial, I took another partial here, and then I ended up getting all out here because the market actually found support. And that's how I play these higher time frame plays, is that I enter in at a higher time frame level, and then I'm usually going to the next higher time frame level on the stock itself. But if the overall market hits a support level or resistance level before that, I'll get all out of the trade. Nvidia did have some support here as well if you look back on the 60-minute chart. But because the overall market was hitting a place of support where I thought it might bounce, I decided I would just get all out of the trade here. So that was my short on Nvidia. And then when we hit an area of support in the market, I was ready for a possible bounce play. So I did take a trade on Meta, and here's my level here. I got in here, partialed, and then decided to get all out. We got this pivot that got thrown around the opening price, and the overall market looked like it was maybe hitting resistance. So decided I would just get all out of the trade, and I'll show you where I got this level from. So if you go to a daily chart here, we've got this nice range on the daily right here. And so this is the bottom of it. And we're coming down into the bottom of it this morning, and the bottom happens to be paired with S3. Now, I really like these higher time frame levels when they are paired with a Camarilla pivot, because you get kind of like what I like to call a backup army. So I like my level, but because my level is somewhat of an area because it's on a higher time frame, the pivots help it be a little bit more accurate. So I find that when a pivot is paired with a higher time frame level, my hit rate is much higher. So I like to, not that I'll always choose a stock when a pivot is paired with it, but I like it a lot better. My hit rate is just higher, and those plays end up working out. So I did put a limit order out. I got filled. It took a while. It hung out here for a little bit, and then the overall market eventually pushed up, and we got this, this nice move, like I said. So that one ended up working out well. Microsoft, unfortunately, was another one on my list that I didn't take. Similar setup. So on the daily chart, here, we've got this range right about here. You can see where it was support at one point, and then we kind of just got trapped in here for a while. So I'm looking at the bottom of it, and the bottom of it today is also paired with S3, very similar to Meta. So, you know, could have set a limit order out here, same thing, same way I did with Meta, and wait for a bounce play as well. This one would have actually been better RVR because of the amount that it's moved dollar-wise. But, you know, can't win them all. So I got Meta, I got Nvidia, and yeah, those are my plays for the day. And then, you know, the market, excuse me, the market has kind of, you know, hit a support level. I was looking at this, especially on the Qs. If you look at the weekly chart here, you can see this area where we had resistance, and then we tried it again, it became support, we held, and we carried on our merry little way. So I was definitely interested in 292 this morning. We might still lose it. We might continue lower in the market, but for now, today, it's working. It's at this nice range below it, which is also a way to play these. So we've got this higher time frame level. This range sets below it. You can play for the break of the range and the hold of this level. So if you like the intraday ranges a little bit more, you could play those. But yeah, we've almost retraced the entire move for the day. Close, not all the way, but if you were short this morning, I'm sure you got some good moves, and then, you know, or could have just waited for a long play and a bounce later in the morning. So could have played the market both ways today, and it would have worked out. So hopefully you guys got some good moves this morning, and also, you know, are coming back refreshed from your long weekend, and now you have a short week. So, you know, make the most of it and follow your rules, take your setups, you know, as you see them come, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye.